Welcome to Smart Chiropractor Season 2, where in every single episode, myself, Dr. Jeff Langman, and my co-host, Dr. Jason Deitch, we take 30 minutes and break down mindset and strategy of how you can build and grow your practice in 2021. All season long, we've been discussing e-commerce, product sales, and we have talked through a lot of the platforms that you need, the mindset, how you should think of this. We've talked MVMI, we've talked recurring revenue and product sales. Today, we're gonna show you behind the scenes. We're gonna outline step by step our entire playbook of how we implement within the Smart Chiropractor. And that's where we're gonna take it. If you have not yet subscribed to this podcast, please head over to Apple or Spotify and do so. Let's start right there. Marketing, e-commerce. Where do we begin?
Well, the good news is for a lot of the Smart Chiropractor clients and members, they already know the playbook. You know, we've perfected over years now the right sequence of the right channels and the right cadence at the right time. We get questions all the time. How many emails should I send? How much should I be posting? You know, should I be doing workshops, not doing workshops? What do I do during COVID? Should I be doing online? Should I be doing telehealth? We have the benefit of hundreds of members and thousands of chiropractors we know and work with and connect with to have finally sort of refined the formula. We've got the data behind, you know, how many social posts we put out, how many emails we send, what the open rates are. And so we continually sort of watch what response we're getting from these activities, and then we're able to adapt and deploy what those are. The big categories are, you need to figure out what you're putting out on social media. That means Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, maybe LinkedIn, and maybe something else, depending on your age group, your generation level, your audience, where you are. But the first ones are the essentials. You got to have not just the ability to email someone, but what they think of as automated email campaigns. So the ability for you to put in somebody's email address into a system and a whole sequence of emails to be able to be sent out and be able to, so that's a sequence. Then there's a broadcast. You got to be able to say, every week I'm going to share some information with my entire list. Okay? Social, email. In office. So in office means your in-office video screens. It means the handouts you have on your counters. It means the signs or things you have in your walls, on your displays. And the ultimate goal for this to work, and here's the kind of magic to it all, is you've got to be in all of those places. And in best case, you've got to have a simple message across all of those places. So that's sort of the good news and the bad news, right? I'll say that the bad news, if there is that there's work to be done because you've got to have a presence in all of those places. In today's world, that's just a must. Just like you need a phone number, you need an address, you need a front door that locks. These are essential things to have a business. These communication channels in today's digital world are essential. So that's sort of the infrastructure. Then the question becomes, okay, what do I send? How often do I send it? Across which of these do I send it? Again, how frequently? And how do I sort of mesh them all together so it actually works as one coordinated system, not a flea market where, you know, I pay one company to do my social, nobody offers email. I got another company that does some chiro screen something, and, you know, I'm always hassling my front desk to make a flyer for this and make a flyer for that. It's just, you know, the two hardest things we say that chiropractors suffer from are creating great content and sharing it consistently. So that's kind of the summary of what sort of needs to be done. When it comes to e-commerce, it's the same formula. The cool news is for, you know, you said we're going to share what we do. Our Smart Chiropractor members are getting all of those things handled, created, designed, and in fact shared for them. So when it comes time to choosing a favorite product of the month, that just fits within the existing system. In fact, it works or is amplified even better in the existing system because instead of feeling like you're selling them a product, you're actually teaching them about something they need to and want to know about themselves that's research-based, that starts with coming into your practice for the service, but also includes the additional either supplements, physical products, pillows, whatever it may be, and information products that support their getting well and or health improvement, and also supports their need for ongoing care in your office. So everything's designed to work together. Nothing is siloed. You can kind of think of it like the human body. We describe it as that's the liver and that's the pancreas, and there are all these different organs. It's really one body, and they all work together in different ways. So we can sort of talk about the pieces, but it's not the pieces, it's the synergy of the pieces that's what makes us healthy, and in this case, makes the systems work.
And let's talk about the strategy behind that, because when we talk about those primary platforms, right, there's email as one of those primary communication channels, right? Social media platforms, of which there are various, that's another primary channel. Those screens in the office, a primary channel. But let's pull it back one step farther and really get strategic in terms of the monthly campaigns, the weekly topics, and the daily posts. Because if the doc's trying to sort through, gosh, I got all these channels to communicate through, yes you do. And yeah, how do I coordinate a message without the quote unquote staring at a blank sheet of paper? Let's talk why campaigns are so critically important, and then how we functionally implement them throughout all those channels.
It's exactly the right question, and it's what hopefully everybody's asking. The structure, I'm going to say you developed, we've sort of perfected for exactly the reason, right? We all, ourselves included, suffer sometimes from, whatever you want to call the creative void of what do I say now? So having a structure, monthly campaigns, weekly topics, daily posts, literally is the formula that allows us to create an entire year's worth of topic in a couple days, even a couple weeks, okay? Because you can set, or we set for them, what time of the year is it? It's January, New Year's resolutions. What do people need to know around this time? What's the relevant topic for this month of the year, right? In the summertime, you're gonna teach things different than in the wintertime, different than holiday season. There is something people want to learn relevant to the time of year that it is. So instead of having, deer in the headlights, what do I say? There's sort of a rationale to not what do I say, but what do they want to know? And how do we match what we want to say packaged in what they want to know? And the cadence then, when you go monthly, weekly, daily, becomes something people can count on. Just give you an example. I bet you know when the next New York Times is coming out.
Tomorrow.
Imagine that. And I don't think they're sitting around going, you think we should do one today? What should we write about? No, it's the process that actually creates the product. We create a daily paper. We got to come up with something daily. So when we understand that, and this is sometimes difficult for chiropractors to appreciate, they're like, I don't want to over send things to people. I don't want to post too much. We sort of impose our personal preferences. Like, I don't like spam. That must mean everybody hates spam. Well, I wouldn't want to do to them what I wouldn't want to have done to me. So I just won't send anything and I won't piss anyone off. But I'm not sure that's the best strategy. We have personal preferences, and yet I'll be the first to tell you I don't like spam, but I'll also be the first to tell you that an overwhelming majority of things I've bought in the last 6 to 12 months have been things that came to me online. In many cases, I didn't even know I was thinking about wanting to buy, but happened to be the right product at the right place at the right time from the right person, that I actually said thank you for thinking of me and knowing my needs, because I'm thinking of my immediate demands, not necessarily the things that'll be better for me long term, or what I can be learning about my health because I'm dealing with a fire of some sort. We're all reacting, as opposed to having our doctors go, hey, you know what you need to learn this month? Hey, you know what research is out there that would be valuable for you to be aware of to help you understand how to take better care of yourself, AKA reinforce why you come to my practice. And by the way, here's what you would want to maybe know that would make you want to ask about the different things we have in our online store. It's a paradigm shift. We call it TIC, communications and marketing. TIC meaning teach and invite consistently. And when doctors follow that formula, whether they do it themselves, want to take on the Herculean effort of writing, designing, researching, editing, and all that goes into creating it, that's the formula. The question becomes, how do most chiropractors do it? And the reality is we're living in a day and age where most businesses hire entire departments to handle these things for themselves. They've got a social media department, an email department, a graphics department. They hire dozens of people and sometimes hundreds and sometimes thousands to handle these things. Chiropractors are in the rough, difficult place that we want sort of the benefit of big-time marketing ideas without the big-time marketing expenses. And that's kind of what we bring is, your experience dealing with the largest non-surgical, firm that's out there working with tens of millions of dollars in ad spend. My experience with Facebook and everything else coming together, there is no chiropractic practice individually on the planet, I think, that has the resources we've put together to be able to help chiropractors really follow this formula. I'll say this proven successful formula month after month after month. But if you want to try, that's the playbook.
So if a doc is saying, "All right, I'm willing to give it a spin," what would you say as far as your experience in best practice, and how many emails? Where does maybe a Friday favorites fit into that? Let's dive into some.
You want to get real granular. Let's do exactly that. When it comes to social, we believe that there are several things. One is people should learn to wake up to what we call a daily dose of inspiration. Just about everybody I know, at just about every age, my mom included, my dad included, and your parents too, probably wake up and within the first hour, all right, unlike me, I turn off my alarm and typically, go to the restroom and bring my phone and check in on the world, all right? And usually checking in on the world means you check your email and you check your social media drug of choice. And you check in, you want to see what's up. Did the world blow up? Am I still allowed to go outside? Anything new going on? Anybody die? What's going on? And the idea of having your favorite doctor, as in your chiropractor, have a daily dose of inspiration, a beautiful image with an inspiring message, so that when I wake up and I check in and I get a friendly, kind, generous message from my favorite doctor, that gives me a good feeling and that gives me inspiration for my day. But you follow it up. It's not a sales pitch. It's not a, hey, we've got a special deal for you. It's not a, we need more new patients, so we're having a patient appreciation week. It's a gift to people. It's an authentic, here's the way I wake up and make my days great, and I'm going to give this gift to you, as in all of you who follow my Facebook page. So that's for Facebook and that's for Instagram. That should be daily, that should be every morning. You have the ability then to follow that up with several things. One would be what we call health reminders. There are certain things that should be done in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, drinking water, going for a walk, getting a good night's sleep. These are all examples not of what to do, people know they got to go to sleep, but of a health reminder for them to do it. Like, hey, put down your phone and get 8 hours of rest tonight, at the time that they should be putting down the phone and getting rest tonight. That's a reminder, not a teaching moment. It's a accountability moment. That's one potential way to make it very valuable. For those chiropractors that actually like to create videos, and there are a percentage of those that do love to teach and invite consistently, they just have a passion for wanting to teach and share, we've created a protocol, a Motivational Monday, Testimonial Tuesday, Wake Up Wednesday, Tactical Thursday, and Friday Favorites. And Friday Favorites happens to be my favorite because it's the opportunity to really showcase something in your potentially either practice store or online store that's one of your favorite things, or it's a way to highlight one of your favorite people, as in a practitioner or a business in your community that oftentimes when you promote them, they will promote you, promoting them to their people, and turns into more business, more awareness. So whether you're recommending a product you sell or a person who you refer to regularly who also refers to you, those are winner-winner days, okay? So it is the understanding that this is about being of service to your community, and you're teaching and inviting consistently. Meaning, every post is not, did you know chiropractic can help you? Did you know I'm available to be your chiropractor? Did you know it's only X amount of dollars to come in and get a chiropractic evaluation? Because chiropractic can help you. Every post is not a sales pitch that chiropractic works. Everybody knows if you're a chiropractor, you believe it works. And that's their assumption. So if we'll teach them things that they want to know and be grateful for the person who taught that to them, being their chiropractor, they will have a different relationship of wanting to learn more from you, because you're not just constantly single and solely minded to shove your agenda down their throat. So Facebook, daily posts, those are options. Instagram kind of works the same way. YouTube is really more of a weekly show. It's a program, it's longer format. And what many doctors use is our screen that rotates as their weekly video. It just gives those people that are on YouTube, who watch YouTube, the ability to find your practice and learn something. That's the goal. And there's lots of ways to do it. This is just the way we do it currently that we found works best, based on the data, based on the feedback. So that's social. Email. There's several answers to how often should I be emailing them. We think, number one, everybody should receive a weekly, for lack of a better way of calling it, newsletter. Meaning news that's weekly, that is typically in a PDF format, okay? And we say PDF format because that's the easiest thing to both print out and hand out on your front counter, and easiest thing to attach to an email and send. If you want to make it look good, this HTML and graphics, it becomes a whole nother can of worms most chiropractors don't want to deal with. So a beautifully designed, research-based, weekly, informative gift. Hey, here's this month's topic, and here's what you want to know about that topic this week. And next week, we're going to teach you something else. And you create the expectation, like I'm saying with the New York Times. I don't go, would you imagine that? They sent me another email that there's more news. I can't believe they keep bothering me with this news. I expect it from them. And what you want to do is build the expectation, not that you're a desperate chiropractor in need of new patients, therefore sending lots of messages out, but you want to position yourself as the local health leader that in fact does exactly the opposite. We're going to share with you so much information about how you can make your life better. Only a small percentage of it is going to have some sort of want to come in and get an evaluation. The most popular way that email has been effective is staying in touch with current clients. And when they fall out of routine, as many of them, if not all of them, do at some point, the weekly email is a kind and generous way to stay in their face and keep touching them with something that would be valuable to them, not necessarily something that is cheap for you. So we believe a weekly email, but that's also in addition to what we call campaigns. So every new patient that comes in should be signed up for your new patient welcome campaign. So for new patients who start that new patient campaign, they'll both get your welcome emails that week and your newsletter email that week. In the beginning, they may receive several, okay? So clearly the idea is not to overwhelm them. Clearly the idea is not to go, well, boy, that would overwhelm me, therefore it'll overwhelm them. Conceptually, it may sound like a lot. When you actually read what's being written, you see the gift it really is. You see the response people have by going, thank you, not why do you keep sending this to me? All of a sudden the energy keeps changing. Theoretically, it's hard for a chiropractor to go, sounds great, let's just send them a bunch of information, because chiropractors are used to sending deals and coupons and special offers and invitations to buy something. They're not necessarily used to sending stuff that actually is of value to their audience. So that is the difference. How much is too much to send to people? When you stop providing value and you're only concerned about your results and outcomes, it's too much. So depending on the expectation you set up, depending on the design, what you're delivering will influence how often. This has been our experience. So weekly newsletter, onboarding campaigns, and when you're doing an online event or a live event when you get back to it, there's an event campaign too. And so people have the ability to go, thanks, but no thanks. But the overwhelming majority of them go, thanks, and can I share, how do I get somebody else I know on this list? Because they should be learning too. So social, email, in office. Listen, printing out something that goes on your counter that they can take and hand to a family member, there's something beneficial to having a physical piece of paper that you can give to someone. Having those handouts, having your in-office video screens that remind people to sign up for your email list and to follow you on social and reinforce the topic of the week. That's how this all sort of braids together like a cable, as opposed to sprays like a widespread sense of random information. What am I missing on our on our list of specifics?
I think you hit it all. The one question I'll ask is connect the dots a little bit on Friday favorites, weekly topics, and monthly campaigns. How does a monthly campaign inform what somebody would talk about in a Friday favorites or vice versa?
Yeah, that is the protocol. And again, I'll make the comparison of a protocol being like an adjusting technique. There's those people that pop and pray, I don't know, feels good, boom, boom. And whatever you do is what you do because innate told you to do it, and that's a philosophy. And you can apply the same philosophy to, I don't know, what do I feel like writing? I'm not inspired, I won't write. I am inspired, I will. That's one option. The protocol is, just like adjusting, you learn an analysis and an adjusting technique. Our protocol is what you described. So to get specific with that, a monthly topic might be something like sports injuries, okay? Perhaps sometime in the spring, when people are, getting out of hibernation and getting back into sports and often hurt themselves. So you may pick a topic like, sports injury as the monthly conversation. Every week, you may have a research-based conversation around sports injuries related to something you obviously do. So it could be nerve interference and subluxation. It could be, muscle recovery. It could be, proper sleep. It's something that is always research-based. We believe that referencing science, referencing research adds credibility to who you are, all right? It sort of overcomes the prejudice of, you guys are chiropractors, you're not real doctors with real science and real research. Well, actually we are. We use the same PubMed, we use the same research. In fact, we often use medical research to support what we're talking about, not even done by chiropractors. So this is a nice, subtle, appropriate way to go, we believe in science too. So having your sports injury, having your weekly topic, and then as you say, connecting the dots of Monday motivation in a month of sports injuries may have something to do with let's get out and make sure we get a great stretch before you go for your run today now that you're getting out into the sun. Testimonial may be somebody who had a sports injury and recovered because of your care. Wake Up Wednesday would be something like, did you know? One of the things you learned that they may not know about sports injuries and what you do. Tactical Thursday is something they can do to help themselves. It's a specific stretch or a specific something that would help them perform better. And Friday favorites might be, my favorite way to recover from running is fill-in product or fill-in person here. And your daily relates to your weekly, relates to your monthly. So there is harmony and coordination and synergy, and it's not just a random flea market of both thinking, well, what do I come up with now? There's a formula that makes it easy. It's this month, it's this week, it's this day, I know what to say. Makes chiropractors' lives easy. It makes people understand what they can kind of almost predictably expect next. And the good news is it really works.
Yeah, and monthly campaigns increase coordination, which accelerate results. That's really what it comes down to. And I'm going to encourage everybody listening and watching, if you want to accelerate your own growth and your own knowledge, be sure to head over to thesmartchiropractor.com. We have an array of guides, of tools, of resources to help you implement what we are discussing this season and what we've discussed last season. And if you haven't checked out all the episodes of this podcast, you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, anywhere where your favorite podcast can be found. Be sure to subscribe and check out our YouTube channel where we post video versions of these conversations amongst a host of other tools and trainings to help you build and grow. For Dr. Jason Deitch, I'm Dr. Jeff Langmaid, and we'll see you in the next episode.
This episode brought to you by The Smart Chiropractor. At The Smart Chiropractor, we solve the two biggest chiropractic marketing challenges, content and consistency. We combine an incredible content library with powerful automation tools to supercharge your marketing. The result? More new patients, more referrals, and more reactivations with automated digital content marketing.
Here's what Dr. Mike Marino had to say. The Smart Chiropractor's content, auto posting, and other tools is simply the best ROI I have seen in 20 years of practice.
To learn more and get started, visit thesmartchiropractor.com today.